put brake pads in, that was it then, was it?
Brake pads, I went to do a wheel bar and it turns out the hub was moved, so I did a hub as well.
Full service then?
Oh yeah, good enough. I topped up the oil.
Horse miles. more horses, don't you?
Yeah. So just park that where I was?
Yeah, where. Yeah, I get what Mike's saying, because you hustle the car, and one thing you do, which is, like, I would say is wrong, kind of work, but it shouldn't work. You take the shortest route around the circuit.
Yeah.
And the problem with taking the shortest route means
you're aiming exactly for.
Yeah, you've lost a bit of. You lost the opportunity to carry speed. So, for example, turn one, you're coming in slightly early. You're running out of the road on the exit.
Yeah.
But you haven't got that much power where it's really punishing you for it.
Yeah.
But you've got lock on. You're having to feather the throttle slightly.
Yeah.
So on the turn one, Old Hall, turn one, if you start going there, if you use that lay-by and got to the end of the lay-by before you came across, you'll suddenly see when you turn for the inside of the corner, the apex, you'll just see a Sears tarmac in front of you. Yeah. At the moment, you turn a little bit early, and when you're coming out, you can see the grass. Well, you haven't got enough power to actually push you onto the grass, but you're feathering the throttle slightly. There's a little bit of wheel spin, and it's stopping the traction on the way out. And you turn in a little bit early at Old Hall. Yeah. You turn in early for the first chicane as well. Yeah. Because if you came out the hairpin, you know, at the bottom there, and stayed on the left-hand side till the kink on the track, then came across to the right-hand side, the car will be straighter longer. And if it's straight, you can just hit the throttle, you can bury it. But because you come across to the right a lot earlier for that first chicane, so you come out the hairpin, you're steering. So you've got a slight lock on all the way through there, which is obviously going to compromise the speed a little bit. Yeah. And the other place where it doesn't seem to affect you, and I don't suppose it does at lap time, but if it would if you had more horses, when you go under the bridge up the hill, you stay right in the middle of the road and then turn left towards Druids. It doesn't seem to affect the car, but if you went under the bridge on the left hand side, try it just out of try it. And then on the right hand side there's a gravel track, like an ambulance kind of access road. If you made sure, if you almost try, don't do it, but try and clip where the gravel is, and then come across there, you'll suddenly see again the car is straight along. And if the car is straight, you can absolutely nail the throttle. I just feel like you're taking the shortest route, which means you're steering.
To be honest, it's my logic is shorter lap is less.
And if you had more power, then the compromise would be bigger, because it's a distance and speed essence. So you could say, well, I haven't actually got the outright speed, so I'll take the shortest route. But I still think there's a balance there where you could actually...
Because it's like at Anglesey, everyone, you know where you... Again, I don't know the name, but you join the track, you get around the hairpin, and then you come up that sweeping right. Yeah. And then everyone kind of just like stays left for ages and then cuts in as they go up the hill.
No, I agree with you. No, I can't call it there,
because I've got no power to. I'm just wasting time driving over there to then drive back. It's
absolutely.
Like
but on that where you're saying on the Anglesey, on that back straight there, when you've gone through that right hander, if you've got to be on the left hand side when you go through the initial kink. But then there's a join on the circuit. Where that join line is, I then straight line to the curb on the left. So I cut the second part of the corner because the car is straight. So basically, I always believe that a straight car is quicker than one with steering. So you bring it in. So it's like I say, it's a speed and distance, and you're going for the shortest distance, and it's that balance. If you had more power, then definitely you'd want to open the steering up. I still think there'd be a benefit from not perhaps turning in quite so sharp. I still believe there'll be a benefit, and it's worth trying somewhere like, say, up the hill. When you go up the hill on the bridge, aim for the tall tree. Obviously the tall tree's on the right hand side, but really make a point of going into that access gravel bit, the access road, and turn there, and then you'll see.
I need to note where that is, because
you go up the hill. You'll see it. Next time you go around,
that's what I'm going to be looking for it now.
Up the hill, I've gone up the hill, I've gone under the bridge on the left hand side. You aim for the tall tree, everybody does, there's a tree in front of you, and if you let the car go towards the tree on the right hand side, you'll see like a little a gravel track. You think, oh, that's what he means, I'll turn here. And it's a lot later than you're turning, and then you'll think, God, the car's straight for ages. So if it's straight, the throttle goes straight on. The other thing which surprises me, is your steering. I would always hold it at 2/4 to 3 and cross those hands. Like, you're moving your hands on the wheel, aren't you?
To be honest, I don't know.
Yeah. So if you hold the wheel at quarter to 3,
what am I doing?
Yeah, you move your hands around on the wheel.
Right. Okay.
And if your hands are always like this, so when you do steer, when you come out the corner, you'll recognise the benefit more when you come out. When you come out, you straighten the steering, and it's just easier to straighten the car up, because if your hands are here, you always know exactly the amount of lock on the front wheels, because you can relate to it, you can see it. But if you move your hands, you're never too sure how much steering.
I was doing that.
You did it all the time. You did it more than I thought, and I was surprised you did that.
Yeah.
So I would keep them glued on because it's, you got better feedback. Your hands are further apart, but you always know exactly the lock on the front wheels.
Yeah.
But I would just go on that element of like speed and distance.
Yep.
The shortest route isn't necessarily, but you could, put a timer on and think, no, he's wrong. But in essence, the technique is normally keep the car as straight as you possibly can. If you're steering, there's always going to be a slight compromise. If the car is straighter longer, I'll be able to carry more speed.
Yeah.
That's my recommendation.
I don't know as well. It's like it's. I know it's not race, but racing excuses sort of thing. It's like as soon as you get in the car, I'm like, I need to concentrate now. And whereas all day you just do what you do, and then someone sat next to you, and it's kind of like, obviously, to assess it as such, and it's like, oh, I need to. I know what you're saying. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah. It's when somebody's watching you, it's always a little bit, whatever you're doing. And then all of a sudden, it's like everyone fast is turning up, so I've got to move over for everyone. I was like, where have all these come from?
Now you go around well, absolutely no two ways about it. I mean, you do enough miles, you know the car, and you hang on to it well, and it's this car really well. You can tell that.
I know. To be fair,
but, it's just,
I do love this thing.
Of course. But I just think if you got keep the front wheel straight, basically, as much as you can, which probably means turning slightly later and probably not just try and hug it quite so tight. But at the end of the day, if you do that, you see no benefit. We'll take the shorter line. But that's my belief.
Thank you very much.
All right, mate. But